Yeah, it looks like that there's something happening.
Yeah, finally. So we're finally live, finally live. And I'm hoping this is recording as well. So, firstly, can you just quickly tell people who you are, and more importantly, what? So, how how old are you?
I'm now 41.
Yeah, getting
Yeah.
old.
And
So,
I mean, I feel like at least 30. I feel 10 years younger for sure, 100%. If I look at people in my age and I compare myself, I'm like, my God. I mean, I have two brothers that are both younger than me, and I swear that I'm looking the best from them. Like, really,
mm,
the fittest and the youngest. They're like, I'm born 81, they're 83 and 84, but they look much older than me. And if you ask people when they meet us three, that they would never think that I'm the oldest.
mm. So what made you want to do the 75 hard challenge? Like, what was it? Was it more your age? Was it like you wanted to look like you did when you were 20? Like, what was the main reason behind that?
It's a good question, obviously. I mean, like, you always, every day, every year, when there's coming the new year, you put these new things that you want to put in place. Yeah, the new goals, the new changes, and all that stuff, right? But normally, when you do that, what's happening is that after 2 or 3 weeks, you go and you meet some friends, you have some drinks, and you fuck off everything. You know what I mean? Like everything is just out of the window. Like everything that you started today, is you started before, 2 or 3 weeks later, you just have like one big party or something like this, and it's gone. Like this would happen to, let's say, 90% of people. Let's be honest. Like who is really doing the stuff that they put in, they want to do? Like a very good example is if you look at the gyms, right? January, bam, pump gym, like completely crazy, right? You don't find a fucking spot on the machines. It's nuts. February, all right, it's getting already low. End of February, boom, it's going down to 70%. March, 60, 50%. And in April, there's exactly the same people that are there the whole year because these people are just gone, right? If they're staying 10% of them, then it's a fucking loss. Right? It's the truth, right? And that's what I mean. I mean, I go into the gym since I'm 16, like, like my whole life. I was my personal trainer. I studied fitness knowledge. So fitness has always been a big part of my life, right? However, I also started then last year. I started to get the coach for my stimulate my testosterone naturally. What was a really cool move, right? Because when you get older, you lose testosterone, and the more less testosterone you have as a man, the less you have muscles and all of that. It's a compound effect, right? And I was like, okay, I want to do something for that, and I got basically I got him as a coach, and he gave me all these tips. I take all these supplements. I train exactly like that, and so this already gave me like really back my body more or less already last year, right? And my goal for my 40s was also to be like really to be in top shape. I wanted to have like this picture of my 40s where I look amazing, and I made that. And then when I was 41, I was like, okay, this time I want to do it even better, right? And also there, I really traded a great shape. It's always a little bit to my birthday because my birthday is in August, 14th of August. And I always say like on my birthday, I want to be in top shape. This is just like something
Mm,
that I always put in, right? But this time when it was basically the end of it, we have been on honeymoon. So I got married. I was in Germany, and I love German beer, rice beer, right? I fucking love it. It's just a thing. I mean, I'm from Munich. What I want to do, I think it's my genetic. It's just what happened. And then I came back and I really gained 7, 8 kilos, right? And then after I went on honeymoon, so I gained another 2, 3. So I had like 10, 11 kilos more. I was
yeah.
like that, right? I was like, this is not possible. So I was looking in something what I can do, obviously starting from the new year because I knew that it's coming Christmas and all that. So and then I found 75 hard, and from the start I was amazed about it for two reasons. First of all, because it's super simple, it costs nothing, right? It's simple but still difficult, and it's something that I can completely control on my own, right? There's nobody else that has an influence on that. It's me versus me, right? And that's what I loved about it. And then I basically listened to the podcast, I got the book and all that stuff, so I already knew that I'm gonna start it. And then the second reason why I think it's so intriguing has been so intriguing for me because it's fucking 75 days, right? There's not like after 1, 2 weeks, like, oh my God, you cannot continue anymore. Because if you just fail one simple thing of the task, you start from day one. And
Mm.
that's what I love, because that's a challenge, right? For me, that first of all will help me to get back in shape, right? And second, it will help me to get complete control over my mind. And that was the fascinating thing for me, right? Because I'm a big fan of mind control, right? So basically, like everything that you can do to really get control over your mind, I was always fascinated about this. Since 20 years, I'm into personal development, and I know that our mind is everything. And the main thing about 75 Hard is not the body. The main thing is the complete mind control, right? And that was so intriguing for me. And I can tell you, after I was doing 75 Hard completely through, and now I'm in phase one, I'm in day 24 today, I have 6 days more to go. Like my mind compared to what it was before, it's two different kind of people. It's
Nice.
not. Like honestly, like I can just really everybody that says, you know what, I have like something in me that is a procrastinator, don't let me do things, or I don't reach my goals or whatever, do a fucking 75 hard because it's a life change. It's completely changing your life. I mean, I have a list now with the phase one, because one of the things that you have to do basically always 5 tasks when you do 75 hard that are goal related in phase one, right, you have to do like 8 tasks. Like I do 8 fucking tasks that are goal related every day, right? And believe me one thing, if you do 8 goal related tasks every day, what do you think you are in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, right? It's like here's a thing that is called the power list. Now in the phase one, you do 8 tasks. Normally when you continue life, it's called life hard. So basically, there's 75 hard and there's life hard, because that's basically how it continues. He wants you to not just do it for the 75 days, but he wants you to make a lifestyle out of it. And that's the thing, right? So basically, like after that, if you do 5 tasks every day that are goal related, right, and you do this consistently, you will reach your goals. There's nothing that can stop you, right?
Mm.
So that's what I mean. So this is also so powerful for me. If people would put this simple thing into place, right? Do really 5 tasks every day that are goal related. Nothing can stop you. Like he even says, look, do the 5 tasks per day, and if you're done with your day. It doesn't fucking matter because you did your thing, right? And the next thing, what I really love about it, Alan, is the point that I do believe about something. Like I don't know if you know the 4 agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Have you heard about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So basically, he has 4 agreements, and one thing that I really love is be impeccable with your word, right? And be impeccable with your word for me is one of my has become one of my ground rules. Why? Because it's not just that you promise other people something that you build trust. Obviously, that's the first part, and that's amazing, right? You know, it takes a very long time to build up trust, and it can be broken in seconds, right? Um, but the same thing counts for yourself. If you set yourself goals and you don't do that, you will lose confidence and confidence and
Mm.
confidence until you have nothing at all left, right? However, if you do 75 hard, for example, and you reach your goals every day after over 75 days, what do you think happens with your confidence? It's fucking growing massively, man. You become a confidence beast.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And then if you continue to phase one and you even add the cold shower onto it that you do every day, it doesn't matter what happens, you do your cold shower. I mean, I did last time cold shower because I had to work. Because I did my 8 tasks and I had to launch a campaign on the next day. So I was working till 2 in the night, right? So I was like, fuck me, I didn't do my cold shower. So at 2 in the night, I went to have my cold shower before I went to sleep. You know, you create such a mind strength
Mm.
that there's nothing that can stop you from doing it. Like I had a problem with my wife after because she said, "You're crazy with showering in the night at 2 a.m. waking me up." I was like, "Okay, I will put it a little bit down that it's not so loud, but I stand under it for 5 minutes because I said there's no way. Like,
Yeah.
but you have to stop." I'm like, "No, I cannot stop it." And you know, because I cannot fail. There's no way
Mm.
of failing, right? You create such a mind strength, and the cool thing is, I could just fail and nobody would ever realize it because it's me against me,
Mm.
right? And that's the cool thing. I have to stand and look in the mirror and say, I have fucking done that. And believe me, everybody that did it, you realize it immediately. If people tell you blah blah blah, I did it, I can tell you, I speak with them a minute, and I know you did it or you don't, right?
Mm.
Because it's just different. And like Frisella has a T-shirt that he's selling on his page where it's written "We ain't the same," and I fucking believe that because somebody that did 75 hard is not the same that somebody that didn't do it. It's
Yeah.
two different people,
Yeah.
you know.
You sound very passionate, which is good. Like you can see that it's definitely helped you. Are there any cons? So obviously there's lots of benefits, like the cold showers, developing a hard mindset. you exercising every day. But is there any cons that you, you know, or is the 75 challenge all pro?
So basically, obviously, like again, you don't take it as a fitness program. There will be some fitness pros that tell you you're crazy. You do two workouts a day, you're completely overtraining. Makes zero sense, and this is true, right? It's like you're like a lot of people get hurt or get sick or stuff like that. But again, this is where it's getting interesting, right?
Mm,
So basically, I was sick as well. I got the flu or something. I was sick for 5 6 days in the middle of it on day 35, 36, something like that, right? I was like, no, I'm not going to stop, right? I'm just doing my exercises a little bit lower, but I will not stop after 36 days. It's not going to happen, right? Because you can also do like the second, you can do like if you, instead of running, you can also go for a walk, for example. You don't have to run every day, right? If you
mm,
go for a walk, for example, then I did just one gym exercise and then I did one walk in the evening. I did one very light with light weights and stuff like this, and then I did a walk in the evening when I was sick and I just did it.
mm.
You know what I mean? You should now maybe not do that. Now, if you ask a doctor or whatever, they tell you it's crazy,
Yeah,
right? But again, it is just really to create mental stress, right? And if people like if people didn't do any exercise before, they can't do 75 hard. It's impossible because they will get hurt. They will break their
mm,
legs or God knows what because their muscles are not built for it. Like you cannot do nothing, right? Have never done any sport and going to 75 hard. This, you will fail, 100%.
yeah.
The funny thing is that approximately, I think the statistic is 85 to 90% fail after the first 3 days,
Really?
right?
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I know a lot of people also from my friends that are recommended to do it, and nobody did it. Like nobody. They all said, yeah, Jonas, this sounds great. I'm going to do it. I'm like, ask him then like 3 4 days later, then what's up? You nah. Like, you
The
know,
first cold shower? No, thanks.
you need to be. Not everybody's made for it, man. Like honestly, like if you don't have this, like I also know a lot of people that even have mental strength, and I said, well, you're not going to do it. It's made for you. Yeah, no, well, I'm not sure.
Mm,
It's just like like the point is for me is like this. I mean, I always have been like this. This is something that was always me. If I put something in my mind, I'm gonna do it, right?
mm,
And that's why 75 hard is perfect for me because I say, okay, and if the point, if you do a business or something like this, there's a lot of other influences that can influence what you do, right? It's always other influences. Here, there's no other influence. It's only
yeah.
you. That's what I love about it,
Mm.
right? Because it's like you're the only one responsible for your success. Like there's nobody else that has anything to do with it. It's only you, and that's what I love about it.
Sometimes that's
And
harder though. Sometimes that's harder because it's like when you're creating a business, it's sometimes easier to work for someone else than
of
yourself.
course,
So,
of course,
same thing with this. You could quite easily cheat and not have a cold shower.
exactly.
But,
You could do everything. I could not have a cold shower. I could eat ice cream. I could whatever,
mm,
right? Nobody will ever see it. And I could tell to all my friends, hey, I did it.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but
Yep.
I would fucking feel like shit, you know?
Yeah.
It's like I could never do that. I mean, I need to look in the mirror and say I have done that stuff. And that's what I mean. That's where you see the difference. Because again, speak with people that done it, you really immediately realize it. They
Yeah.
have this energy. You have seen they went through shit, right? I mean, there have been days that it was raining cats and dogs, like when people would never go outside. And these are the days when I went running and it was the most fun, right? When you
Nice.
go outside and you just every fucking step is in mud, right? And you're like full of dirt and shit. Like obviously the first steps are like really difficult, but when you're in it, you love it because that's
Nice.
really when
Mm.
then it makes fun, you know. And
What
people around you, they're in their cars and they look at you like, "Are you fucking nuts?" You know. Like, that's when it makes fun.
yeah. What did you find the most mental like w- did you have any like mental patches where you thought that you just couldn't do it anymore? Like, did it get harder or did it get easier? You know, was there any like patches where you like, fuck this?
Good question. Obviously, I mean, like to be honest, like especially in the first 3 days already, like I understood why a lot of people quit in the first 3 days
Yeah.
because it's really it's like especially when it was raining the first days and stuff like that. I'm like, fuck me, I have to really get outside now, you know? Like,
Yeah.
honestly. Um, and also, I mean, for me, with the food was also a big problem. I mean, I love to eat chocolate. I love to eat chips
Mm.
and all that stuff sometimes, you know what I mean? Um, and I had to cut down like all sugar. that was difficult for me as well. Like I can't, but my diet was like all sugar needs to be out. That was also something that I wanted to get rid of this addiction of sugar. You know what I mean? So that
You're
was the
allowed
goal of my diet.
fruit. You're allowed fruit.
Huh?
Uh,
Fruit was allowed, but I mean
yeah.
every kind of the, well, how it's called, refined sugar or something like this, right? So
Yeah.
fruits, I did allow myself fruits, but only also fruits that are like good for losing weight and stuff like kiwi. I ate the berry stuff and like stuff like that. Not really
Mm,
one apple a day. I mean that's all stuff that I ate. But I eat my diet was very high protein, very low carb. So I didn't eat pasta, potatoes, all that stuff, right? So basically I made it very highly keto in the end, not completely keto, but highly,
yeah.
highly keto, right? And I mean, I lost in the first part of 75 hard, I lost 6 kilos, and now in phase one, I lost another five. So I'm down to the weight that I was before. So I'm
Yeah.
now on 93. When I started, I was on 105, I think.
105. Wow.
Yeah, I was big. I was massive.
Yeah.
And now I'm down on 93 again, and I feel amazing, man. Like honestly, like this is like all like my apps are coming out now. Like I need
Yeah.
1-2% more, and I have fully ripped
Oh
again.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
good.
So that's obviously also the goal. Like that's why I mean I have 6 days more. I will definitely continue afterwards
Mm,
until the summer. The cool thing also, this is a good thing about as well, because you don't have to keep everything afterwards. Yeah, I mean, if you want to live this lifestyle like this, I mean, this is a crazy lifestyle, right?
mm,
But you can keep at least, let's say, instead of 8 tasks, I will continue 100% to do 5 tasks. And what is the cool thing again, Alan? If you have done it already that hard, everything else that you do lower is a walk in the park, right? So like the normal habits, like people look at this and they say like, okay, crazy, 8 tasks every day, 2 workouts every day, drink 4 liters, read 10 pages of self-development book. What else? Like have this style and all that stuff, right? It must be crazy. However, everything becomes a habit, right?
mm,
So like
mm.
even like for me now, it's not anymore like because people think like, oh, you can do this. And I mean, I just organize myself. It just becomes natural all the time, you know? Just say, okay, this is my day. Bum, 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 bum. You need to structure your day properly. You need a good discipline, and then you just do it. You know? I mean, what is funny because after the first 75 hard, when I went through it, I did a break where I went to visit my brother for his 40th birthday at some party and stuff like this, and also eat some crap again and all that. But then I was like, okay, let's like a month later, I said, okay, let's do phase one now. And phase one is harder because phase one also includes the cold shower, the visualization. The visualization is no problem because I meditate every day in the morning since 4 years. So
Mm.
I meditate and just combine it with visualization. So that was easy for me, a new habit. But the cold shower, obviously, that was a hard thing to do. So first of all, it was like, right. But again, now also cold shower for me is easy. Like nothing special anymore. I just switch on my watch, put some music, 5 minutes, nothing special, right? Because you get used to everything. Like
Mm.
if you
Yeah.
do things, like, it's always a little bit like this thing, like starting things, right? And then you over the border, and it just becomes a habit, and it's not anymore difficult, you know.
Mm.
So that's the point. Like I don't know what I would need more. Like I mean, what I do, what I love to do is going to the ice bath, and my fitness center is an ice bath. So like if I want to harder, I go into the ice bath because I mean culture in Spain anyways is a joke. I mean, it's like the same. I live in Sydney. I did it in Germany. Culture, that's a different story, my friend. Right? Here, culture is
Yeah.
nothing. Like I don't know. People think it's crazy, but here, culture for me is really pussy. Like like honestly, nothing special, right? But what I want to say as well, I believe, and this is something very important here. I believe that we have a discipline muscle, right? A discipline is a muscle. Like a normal muscle, discipline is a muscle as well. And like a normal muscle, discipline also has a muscle recovery. All right. So basically, like, sorry, yeah, muscle recovery, no muscle recovery, not a muscle reminder. So basically, something. How is this called? Basically, when you did something before and the muscle is again doing it, a reminder.
Muscle memory. Muscle.
Exactly. Sorry, that's memory. So basically, the muscle has a muscle memory. When you have trained before, you have trained hard before, you didn't train for some time, the muscle has a memory, right?
Mm.
And the same does the discipline muscle. That means basically you can have like doing 75 hard, that may really like do 1 month of do what the hell you want to, right? Get back into 75, into the phase one, for example, and it's easy because you've done it before.
Yeah.
The most important thing, and that's why 75 hard is such a game changer, because when you have done it once, when you have done this 75 days, yeah, always with a switch, you can get back into it.
Mm.
And that's the cool thing because I do believe as well. Like I love to live my life in seasons, right? I love to have time where when I put full in business and bam, and I work 24/7 and God knows what. But then I also like to enjoy myself and really travel for a month or something like that. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then get back into it again. That's how I love life.
Yeah. Nice. And how, like, obviously I can tell, but how do you feel now versus how you felt before the first time? And I want you to, like, were you feeling tired? Were you feeling a bit depressed? Were you feeling like you maybe given up on life? Like you put on all that weight.
Things afterwards or not? Because then I just close the window because can you hear this or you don't hear it?
No.
You have nothing. Ah, that's fine then. Then I
That's-
don't care. I hear somebody outside with how is it called for doing the grass. You know what I mean? But if you don't hear it, that's fine. All right. Okay. So basically, there's a massive difference, right? Because like if you I mean like we are man, right? If I look in the mirror and I look like a Greek god, what do you think happens to my confidence, right? It's just logical. If I look in the mirror and have a beer belly and I'm getting this hamster thing here, I'm like, do you think I look very sexy to myself? I don't think so, right? Do you think I look very like somebody that I would like to, no, like obviously it makes a lot of difference alone from the looks. That's the first
Mm.
thing, right? So if I look better, I feel better. Okay, this is the looks. Then also the feeling, the energy that I have. Man, the energy that I have is like fucking unbelievable, right? Like I'm 41. I believe I have an energy like a 20-year, right?
Yeah.
I'm never tired. I'm never out of energy. I'm boosting, right? Like this is real. I'm an energy bomb, I would say, really.
Were you like
And,
that before though?
I mean, I had phases like this in my life that I was like that. That I was super successful when I worked on cruise ships and stuff like this. I was the same, right? But like last year when I went like this and this and this, I became very comfortable. Was just watching TV and Netflix
Mm.
and doing all this shit. You know what I mean? Eating a lot of crap, drinking a lot of beer and all that. So I didn't like that, to be honest. I was
Yeah.
just like not anymore completely myself because you also come into a struggle then. Then you're already like this and like okay, a little bit more doesn't matter. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And you create different standards, I would say, for yourself, right? So when before your standard is like, yeah, okay, I can be like this, I can be a little bit jobby, it's okay, I'm getting 40, and but now I'm like, fuck that, not going to happen, right? Like I'm 100% not getting anywhere out of shape again. And when I'm going out of shape, I go back into 75 hard. That's the
Yeah.
cool thing because I can always like I said, now if I really have some time, I say, okay, I'm getting a little bit of a belly, boom, let's put 75 hard in again, right? I don't care. And the cool thing also for me is really like no alcohol because I think that's a game changer as well. If you don't drink for a month alone through this, you really lose a lot of weight.
Mm.
That's like because alcohol is such a, especially when you like, I live in Spain, right? So we eat around 9, 10 in the night and have through this wine together with that. Then you can imagine what happens with your metabolism because the metabolism, first of all, takes care of toxins. The body, first of all, takes out toxins. So it's working with the alcohol and all the fat is sitting here, right? So that's why if you combine the alcohol with the food and especially with the late food, that's terrible,
Yeah.
right? And so if you cut out alcohol, also it helps obviously massively, right? And I do like that, to be honest, to have this phases of completely cutting out alcohol. I have to say
Yeah.
that. Not that I don't like a drink from time to time, I do, right? But I also like to cut it out.
Yeah. What was the hardest part of the challenge?
The hardest part of the challenge, a good question. I mean, the hardest part of the challenge, I think, was these days where just some other stuff came up that took completely your time and energy away, and you didn't have, and you had to finish the task at like 2 in the night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? So basically, like when there's days that is happening some accident or something completely unforeseen or business wise that you didn't plan it in and you need 5 6 hours to solve that shit because again you have to do a lot of stuff in the day, right? So there cannot be a lot of different things. And if there's happening unforeseen things, then there has been the days that has been really challenging where you're like, okay, fuck me, it's like 3 4
Mm.
p.m. and I didn't even start anything. Or when I had to forget to drink my water because I was so busy and I had to basically chuck down 2 liters of water before I went to bed. You know what I mean? And I go piss every 3 hours and wake up, right? So
Yeah.
there has been of course some challenging things, right? Or when you drink 4 liters, mm, and you go outside running, after 10 minutes you go pissed, 100%,
Yeah.
and you have to go somewhere in the bushes because like it's just like that because you didn't move the whole day, and then everything is starting to move, and you're like, wow,
Sprinkler.
it's not. Definitely, there has been a lot of challenges, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, I love the challenge. Like that's the cool thing because I mean, like from the mind game, that the harder it gets, right? It's a little bit like David Goggins style. I mean, that's also
Mhm.
something that I recommend people to do. If you start 75 hard, read David Goggins' book. This is a perfect combination because you think like you're a pussy, right? Compared to
Yeah.
him, like what are you riding around? What's the point,
By the
right?
way,
And
have you seen his push-up challenge? He saw someone else's video. It goes for about 2 or 3 minutes, but it's a push-up challenge. You basically do push-ups to a song, but it's a specific beat, and it kills you.
yeah,
Have you done that?
no, never seen it. I've
I'll
never seen that. Not
I'll
interesting.
try find it for you. Like it'd be
I
interesting to
can do.
see
I like that. I'm quite good with push-ups. I think I can do 100 or so. That's cool.
100 in one go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Easy.
really? Well, that's
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
really
yeah.
good.
Yeah. I did more before I broke my arm though. Like I have this big thing here. Before I
Jesus.
broke it, I could do even more, but now I think 100 is like
Yeah.
that's doable.
Couple more questions.
Yeah,
So we'll go two more. So, do you think this challenge, so the 75 hard challenge, do you think going through that for 75 days, yes, it'll make you more mentally strong? Do you
yeah,
think on like specifically for entrepreneurs, yeah? Do you
yeah.
think if they did this challenge, they would be more successful? And if
100%.
yeah, why?
I tripled my business doing the challenge. While doing all that stuff, I tripled my business. Right? So that says it all. And I built it up from the ground, right? And like even when I started in October, I didn't really get anything done. As soon as I started, boom, I tripled it up, right? So like it's perfect because it's like you're so focused. You don't drink. What do you normally do when you drink? When you drink, you anyway the first 4, 5, 6 hours of the day you don't do shit, right?
Mm,
You're like, around doing something, but you're not really productive, right? But if you drink on in the week, for example, and you work on the next day, forget the next day. It's not going to happen a lot. You know what I mean? So if you don't do this for a month, and the crazy thing with 75 parties, it's like there's no weekend, right? There's no weekend. Like on the weekend, you do the same shit,
yeah,
right? And that's why when you do this for 75 days, imagine 75 days, every day you do something goal related. It's normal that you get there. And like again, for an entrepreneur, and here we are on point, an entrepreneur needs a few qualities that are super important for an entrepreneur, right? First one is passion. Okay, this is something that if you don't have something that you really do passionate, you're never gonna be good. I mean, that's
mm,
the first thing. And the second thing is discipline. If you're not disciplined, you're not going anywhere. Like if you're very lucky, there's like 5% maybe. They're very lucky. They have some amazing idea. They don't have discipline, and yeah, it works. Yeah. Don't say everybody, but majority of people, I'd say, they need discipline to really get there. And the last one, I think, is grit and persistence. Right? If you don't have that, you give up. And if coming the first obstacles, you just give up. That's what happens, right?
yeah,
And all of that is giving you 75 hard, right? It's like if you look at the card, I don't even see it, but there's written confidence, self-esteem, grit, fortitude, self-worth, discipline, self-belief. And that's what you get from it. It's exactly what you get from it, right? And I don't even know anything better. And like, there's so much coaching programs out there. There's so much stuff out there. You can buy like 6,000 euros or dollars, right, for a coach. You know what I mean? That also helps you to do the same thing. Or you can do it for free if you just start doing 75
yeah,
hours. And I can tell you that 75 hours is going to bring you more than a coach, 100%.
mm,
Because
yeah,
I've done coaches before. I have been a coach by myself. I've done coaches before. It's not the same.
mm,
Because again, like, why also I believe a big reason is with the coach, you still don't have full responsibility. You can give the responsibility to the coach and say, you are now make something out of me. You know what I mean? Do something with me. Tell me what to do. Nah, it's not like this with 75 right? Right? It's you. It's you versus you, always.
you against you.
And that's what I fucking love about it.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
every day it's you versus you. When you wake up, it's you versus the alarm clock. You know what I mean? It's always you versus you.
mm,
That's the thing. And when you create this grit and this mental strength, then you will win the battle against you every day.
that's good, dude. And what was the most hardest part of the challenge in terms of when you started? So the first one or
Mhm.
2 days versus the end of, the 74th, 75th day. What was harder, the start or the end?
To start,
The start? Is that because
100%.
you got used to it, you got stronger, and it was like a
The
habit?
start, no, the start because I can tell you why. Because you train every day twice, yeah. You come to a point where you're so fucking sore that you feel every part of your body, like everything. You can't move anymore. Like you can't
Mm.
even sit anymore. It's terrible, right? I mean, I'm obviously having blessed here because I study fitness, so I know exactly how to train to not completely get into overtraining. You know what I mean? So basically, I train every day only one muscle, right? And I train muscles so in antagonist style that I'm at least having like 24 hours at least recovery time. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? So that's what I did. If people don't know how to do that and they train every day the fucking same thing, right? They do every day the same exercise routine. There are people doing that, right? They
mm,
obviously completely screwed after a week or two. You know,
yeah,
you can put them in a garbage bin because they really destroy their ankles, their joints, everything, right? But I mean, if you do it with a system like I did, it's fine. But still, there's coming a day because you have no recovery, right? No recovery for 75 days. Forget about it. So you come
yeah,
to a point that this was the point where it was really the hardest when I felt so sore. Like I was like, what should I train today? I don't know because everything fucking hurts, you know. So this is the point where you're like, after 2 weeks or something, you're like, man, should I really fucking do that? And you're only on day 14, and you know you have to go 60 days more. That was the tricky.
yeah. Nice, dude. And before we go, let's what's the number one tip, or what's the number one piece of advice that you could give someone who hasn't done the 75 hard challenge, that isn't
Mm-hmm.
mentally strong? They want to change, but they're
Mm-hmm.
too comfortable. So what advice do you have for that person?
I mean, look, you cannot do 75 hard then. That's very simple, right? Because if you don't have like a little bit of a mind strength, don't even start it. It's just what I say because you will fail.
Mm,
That's what's happening. It's like if you're really not having any mind strength. I mean, like I said, I gave it to a lot of people because I said, look, this would be amazing for you. Nobody did it. Like nobody. I
really,
don't know
no one.
anybody. No one that I said, look, I do that, and you want to do it with me, or so. Nobody. I know the people from the Facebook group that are all in the world, right? There's a lot of people doing it, but like in my circle that I told to people to do it, nobody, like nobody,
Mm,
right? Because I mean, I also know because I look at them, I'm like, all right, you're not the same. Like it's just what it is,
yeah.
right? But what advice would I give? Basically, what I would advice what I would give is start with the power list. So basically, do 5 tasks every day that are goal related. All right. This is a very good start into create a discipline
Mm,
and you do something that is goal related every day. If you do this, perfect. If you don't want to do it on the weekend, okay, start with five days in the week. Start 5 weeks from Monday to Friday. 5 tasks every day that you do in the direction of your goals. Right? Start like that, and start maybe to go 2 3 times a week into the gym. All right, that's the next thing. Right? Because again, if you tell to people to go from nothing to 5 times a week in the gym, they will fail to
mm,
100%. Right?
yeah.
But that's also like if they start to go 2 3 times over 3 months, 6 months, God knows what, and they want to do more, then okay, cool, go for it, right? But then you cannot go from nothing to craziness. That's not working. That's why we are again here on the muscle memory and on the discipline memory. If you never do anything and you don't go directly to 100%, it's not going to work. You need to build it up slowly. But if you really want to get there and you want to create mental strength, my advice is to start with 5 daily tasks that are goal related. And if you want to do something for your body, go to the gym like 2 3 times a week. And that's a very important part. Get a personal trainer for the first trainings because if you start training wrong, you destroy more than you do good,
True.
right?
Yeah.
So especially if you have never been to a gym, get a personal trainer, invest that money, right? Because the worst thing that you can do, I mean, I know so many people that, I mean, I see it every day in the gym. Man, they go every day into the gym, right? And they build nothing on muscle, like
Mm,
nothing. And if I look at them, I know why. Because their routines are a disaster, right? And like they're trainers inside. They just sit there, drink their coffee. I mean, that's another thing. But I mean, in gyms, to be honest, I worked in a gym, Alan, in Germany. That is one of the best gyms. This guy is a doctor in fitness, right? I was blessed for that because on my gym, it was like that. It was a gym for more older elderly people, and there was always 2 3 trainers on the area. on the training area, and they checked everybody if they train correctly. And if they trained something wrong, they went there, explained exactly one more time the exercise. You know what I mean? They made the training plan for it. So that's a good gym. But where
Mm.
do you find this today anymore? Find a good gym where there's a trainer on the area that is really
Zero.
taking care of it. They don't give
Zero.
a fuck. They
Yeah.
don't care. You know what I mean? They just take your first license, they maybe give you one training into that, they have one instruction, and then go for it. Have fun and just pay the
Mm.
money. You know what I mean? But or you pay for a personal trainer. That's the other option. But a gym where there's two, three trainers just like this, it's a service. Man, this is amazing. You know what I mean? The cool thing is obviously for us when you do that, because I could continue doing this on the ship, and I created a lot of people because the other trainers also didn't do that. So what did I do? I corrected them. I said, look, this and that. You know what? I would like to maybe show you this in a personal training, whatever. And people were like, yeah, thank you, because first of all, you help them, right, with an exercise. They're like, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. And then you just explain them, look, I would love to help you. They fucking all go for it. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So that's it. But this is there. I mean, I don't know. Like this is for me something in the gym culture that for me is scary because I would love to have a gym like that, you know, like for me, I don't need it anymore. But if there's, I don't know, 150 people training, like I also in the start, I was correcting people and stuff, but I stopped doing it because like I'm not the
Mm.
trainer, I'm not gonna get paid for it. And when I'm there, I just would run around. I'm like, you train wrong, you train wrong, and I'm there for my, I'm there for me as well, right?
Yeah.
But if I see something very bad, if people does like this or something like that, then I
Yeah.
tell
Yeah.
them because I can't see it,
Yeah.
you know. But like, I mean, I see the trainers sitting there, don't doing nothing, just drinking their coffee, watching these guys. I'm like, my guys, well, for what are you getting
It's the
fucking paid?
same here,
I
dude, in
don't know.
Australia. They're all the same.
You know what I mean, right?
Mm.
So that's the thing. But that's why I said, if you want to do that, 5 tasks and get a personal trainer, that's a good start. And also maybe for the diet, choose any diet that you'd like to try and just stick to it. And that's it. I mean, look, I tried also a lot of different diets. I mean, I love intermittent fasting. That I'm still doing that. That's also something that I started last year, and I do it because I just don't need breakfast, and I have more energy when I don't eat. Like
Mm.
I go, I don't know if you know one thing. Also, this is I learned from my testosterone coach. The best what you can do to create testosterone is train on an empty stomach, right? Because people like that's what you learn in bodybuilding before. Like you need to eat 2 hours before. Bullshit, right? Like you need to train on an empty stomach. That's where you
Mm.
create the most, right? So like that's what I normally do. I wake up, I meditate, I go to the gym, and then after I eat,
Yeah.
right?
Nice.
So this is also something that I would recommend you to do. Try intermittent fasting because for men it's amazing. For women, you need to check a few things before, but for men, every man can do intermittent fasting, right? Try a diet that you would like to try out. Go 2 or 3 times a week in the gym and do 5 correlated tasks. Boom. If you do this for 6 months, 9 months, you can go for 75 months.
Mm. Good advice, dude. Let's leave it
Yeah.
there. I'll have a chat with you maybe tomorrow. We can go over a few things. But lovely to chat with you again. It's good that, like your skin's glowing, your hair looks really good.
Yeah, my wife says I have less gray hair even though, and I see my skin. If I see a picture from me like last year or 2 years ago even, and I compare it with now, I look younger now.
That's good.
I can tell you because I have the feeling that I get younger instead of older.
Yeah.
Right? It's really like that because, of course, I mean, if you look at my supplements, right? Like, I mean, like I have a supplement stack of I think 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I don't know, different things, right? As well that I put into my body, right? Superfoods and God knows what. So I really take care
Mm.
of everything that I like. It's a whole thing. It's all very all in one, right? So basically, need to be all over, need to be good. So if you
Yeah,
just like go to the gym and you eat shit, for nothing as well, right? So you need to really take
exactly.
care of everything. And then again, like I'm a fan of 80-20, right? If you have 80% the basic in place, right, you can also 20% have sense. That's cool, no
Mm.
problem. So I don't tell nobody you cannot have a glass of wine or whatever, right? Or you cannot have a nice ice cream from time to time. Fine, absolutely cool, as long as you have the basics in place.
Yeah, good advice.
Yeah.
All right, I'll chat with you tomorrow.
All right. Sounds good, mate.
Sounds
Great
good.
pleasure.
Enjoy your morning. Is it your morning?
Yeah, it's my morning. Yeah, I went now. It's almost lunchtime. I didn't eat, but
Uh,
yeah, it's getting
yeah.
lunchtime. All right.
All right. Chat
Okay.
soon, dude. All the best.
Okay, mate. All right. Bye.